ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We are reading from the book Meditation and Spiritual Life by Swami Yatiswarananda. We are commencing chapter 35, Spiritual Tidbits. In this world of phenomena, there are no such things as perfect institutions, since there are no perfect individuals. We have to accept things as they are. Both strong and weak points are to be found everywhere, and we have to choose that institution which has more good than bad and can help us also to improve ourselves. Self-help is the best of all helps, but it need not be egocentric. Swami Brahmananda ji used to tell us, let your mind be your guru. This means that it should be pure enough to come in contact with the guru of all gurus, dwelling within us. This is the best advice I can give. Do not weaken yourself by thinking that you are good for nothing. Instead of depending too much on any outside help, pray fervently to the Guru within for light and guidance. Learn to feel happy seeing others happy. All of us have our weaknesses and strong points. Put both together, and as you look at them, you'll find that good overweighs evil, which however is to be removed in gradual stages. When you feel depressed looking at your weaknesses, look back and notice what a great change has come over you in the course of the last few years. Let this fill you with hopes and encourage you to try again. Knowing that the divine power is behind you, you should learn to draw upon this power through your earnest striving and prayer. I am sure that in due course you will find yourself spiritually transformed more than you can dream of now. Our ideal is so high that the more we proceed towards it, the more we find that there is yet so much to achieve. This is very good because it keeps us going and enables us to have a little taste of the divine joy as we continue to do our prayer and meditation. We must proceed towards the truth. There are many approaches to it. The soul is following a certain trend of evolution, and sometimes it goes up and sometimes down, but the net result must be forward progress. There must be a system in our movement. Our ideas must be clear and systematized. They may be childlike at first, but they must not be hazy or indefinite. Our conception of the divine must grow more and more as we proceed. The first step is to find out where we stand. Find out your relation to God, the soul, and the universe. To begin with, let us stand where we are and perform our duties of life. Our concept of duty evolves as we evolve, but purity and devotion to God are fundamental. We must get a better conception of ourselves, of what we are, and then think how to bring about a change in ourselves. Changes are seldom uniform. We have ups and downs, but we must be progressive, grow better. If we are dragged down, we must move upwards again. We have our moods, but we should have one dominant mood, the calm spiritual mood. If we are angry, we should at least not be angry with our whole mind. Keep at least a part of the mind under control. Learn how to remain unaffected. Maintain your mental balance. Can true religion bring this about? In everyone there is restlessness for something higher, the hunger of the soul. The fact of soul hunger is there deep below. Temporarily we may forget it, but again comes that yearning in the soul. Three attitudes are possible towards ourselves. 1. I am the body. 2. I am the mind. And 3. I am the spirit, the witness of my own thoughts. The first principle is that of self-consciousness. I am. Find out what this really means to you. The mind is the instrument of the spirit, our true self. I see, but it is important to know how to see correctly. We often see in a wrong way through colored glasses. Latent impressions color the mind. Make the mind less colored. Try to see things as they are. What is our relation to God? What we are concerned with now is the God who is in us. He is the thread connecting us all. We often forget this and get too self-conscious. We are like bubbles in the ocean which have forgotten the common element. It is practical religion to find the link between God and ourselves. Or imagine yourself as a point in a circle. There is no point where the circle does not exist. By this circle, we are connected with one another and not directly. The idea is to look upon all with the same eye, transmute personal life into higher life. But charity should begin at home. First of all, establish a proper relationship with God who dwells within you. Relation, relation to the cosmic being never undergoes any change as relation to human being does. Death is not destruction. It only means changing or shifting our places. The self is something that never changes. There is good and bad, and sometimes we catch a glimpse of the true reality that is neither good nor bad. Good is what is helpful in spiritual life, bad is what is harmful to it. In us, there are good elements and bad elements. Eliminate the bad ones and take the good ones, and then go beyond both good and bad. We can at least approach this ideal and work our way towards perfection. Do not get attached. Do not get upset. Try to see the reality behind the phenomenon. We should be kind but not blind. Have infinite sympathy. Pain and sorrow are a kind of education. Bear them. Turn to God even through suffering. Also, hunger for truth makes us turn to God. We must be in tune with ourselves. If we are not in harmony, we prick others. Have harmony in mind and body. It is necessary to sublimate our feelings. If they are suppressed, they leak out again and again. Suppression or repression is not enough. Friends have, to some extent, similar vibrations. Sympathize with angry people. Have sympathy from a higher plane. There are times when you are allowed to disagree with or scold others, maintaining an amount of self-control. Then it won't lead to quarrels or misunderstandings. If you have inner harmony, we induce harmony in others. If you are restless, we have both inner and outer troubles. We must first of all come to have a spiritual attitude towards ourselves, and only then can we establish a proper relationship between us and the divine and also with other people. First, we must be intellectually convinced. Then our convictions must be tested. Belief must be tested in our actions and thoughts. We should live up to it. There is too much talk about religion. The less we talk, the better. Let us act. Let us live up to the ideal. Only a few can have real religion. There is so much theory. Practice is necessary. Truth is one, but the approaches to it are many. From lower truths, we step to higher truths. We must get a glimpse of the truth. There are steps which we can follow. Ideas must be assimilated and applied in life. Don't lower the ideal. Rise up to it. We must approach it steadily, step by step. Get better and better, clearer and clearer ideas and conceptions. Proceed from the gross to the subtle and thence to the causal. To realize Him in us is the first step. Then we realize Him in others also. Then comes a new outlook, a new sympathy. After the training of our faculties, the willpower becomes stronger. Feeling, willing and knowing must be coordinated, must be transcended through prayer, meditation, discharge of our duties and self-control. Great energy is needed for spiritual life. Men are of different types, but the goal is the same for all, to realize the soul's connection with the divine, ending in the realization of the unity. Selfless activity is a step towards the attainment of divinity. If faith is added, it becomes easier. Noble sentiments have great spiritual value. They take us nearer to God. In some, devotion is the dominant factor, but along with feeling, there must be discrimination and right activity. Coordinate, coordinate the different faculties. Rise above the faculties and know the truth. May the self inspire and guide us. Our aim is to be free while living, to attain freedom before we die. We must do our best in this very life, as human birth is a rare privilege. Aspire to realize the divine before death. Strive, proceed towards the goal. As long as we have our ego, the responsibility is ours. We must act and get nearer to perfection. Intuition is direct perception of the truth. It is a faculty that expresses itself through the purified intellect and heart. Devotion must always be tempered by the intellect. Feeling must always be guided by the intellect. Feeling and intellect should be coordinated, and we should never allow ourselves to be swept away by our feelings or mere intellectualism. This higher faculty, intuition, leads us to direct vision, direct experience of the truth. But first, the power of intuition must be developed. This is a faculty which already exists in us, but it is covered by the impurities of mind. Clean the mind to be able to perceive the truth. You can at least get glimpses of the truth. Vague intuition is to be developed into definite and clear intuition. Every soul is potentially divine. Let us always remember our spiritual heritage. We must not allow ourselves to be swept away by our feelings. It is very dangerous. Clear, definite thinking is necessary. Control your moods. Good impulses from outside may be necessary in the beginning, but noble impulses from inside becomes more. But noble impulses from inside ourselves are more important. Have intense aspiration to see the light in yourself. It is there in you. You have to manifest the inner light. There must be a balance in our inner and outer life. Every work should be a service and a sanctified act. There are two currents of thinking, the conscious and the unconscious. When you work, direct the conscious stream towards God and the subconscious towards, when you work, direct the conscious stream towards work and the subconscious towards God. When you are free, direct both to God. Our psychophysical energy must be controlled and conserved. Energy is being wasted now. Don't waste energy. Physical and mental energy can be increased. New channels can be opened that increase the flow of energy. Useless work, useless talks, and gossiping and useless thinking are like weeds. Pull them out. Then there will be time for useful work. During spiritual practice, there must be no physical restlessness, no mental restlessness. Through practice, concentration is deepened. Through concentration, the channels of energy are cleared. We must be in touch with the cosmic energy. The task is how to become better and less obstructed channels. That is how to get more cosmic energy. There is a lower mental energy and a higher mental energy or spiritual energy. Our ordinary thinking is done with the help of lower mental energy. For lack of exercise, the higher faculties have become weak, and hence spiritual energy is not received by us. Morning is the best time for worship, spiritual practices, and meditation. Don't control the mind negatively. Do it positively by having the intuition. Don't control the mind negatively. Do it positively by having good thoughts. It is necessary to have a central thought always. What is the immediate goal? To get in touch with the reality. Whatever we call real draws our whole being. So it is most essential for us to have a clear conception of what reality is. The goal and the path must be real. Even our imaginations must be about the real. Control subconscious thinking and minimize it. We must know the laws of thought and think and act consciously. Reasoning is necessary. Through it, we must go beyond it to the truth which transcends it. Concentration is achieved through practice. After meditation, at least a little of the mood is to be continued. A small light should be kept burning in the inner temple always. First, see the divine in Christ, in Buddha, etc. These then see him in holy men. Salute the divine even in those who are not holy, but always from a distance. We are too weak and might be affected if we move with them. Let us be on our guard. We must develop a sense of proportion and find out our own strength. Always take proper precautions so that you are not affected by evil. We may temporarily run away. Is this weaknesses? We may form certain complexes in order to avoid worse complexes. The mind is like a barometer. If you feel you're pulled down, you be on the alert. If you feel you're pulled down, be on the alert. Our life is very often a compromise. We can't help it. If we have full control over ourselves, we can avoid complexes. Often we must make use of a lesser evil to overcome the greater. Each of us is to be judged on its own merit. Spiritual practice is like mental skating, the proud fall. Don't think you're too great or too safe. In dealing with material things, don't lose your inner alertness. There is a way of associating with people. Have always an inner barrier as a shield when you come in touch with impure and evil-minded people. Try to establish contact with the divine and through the divine with all. Let the point get its unity through the circle and only then with the other points. The divine is immanent in all beings, just as the circle exists in each point. Through the whole, come in touch with all the parts. Most people neglect their duty towards the divine. Most people cultivate weeds instead of good, useful plants. We must thoroughly change our ways if we want to be spiritual. Entertain pure and noble thoughts and try to be in tune with the divine always. We should try to make the spiritual mood natural to us. One portion of the mind at least should always be in that higher mood. Everyone must have a central thought. It may be the thought of your relationship with the divine, or the soul's longing for God, or the thought that you are the witnessing self. Or repeat a holy name always. The sound calls up the corresponding holy thought. Our task is to establish the contact between us and God. For this, introspection is needed. Spiritual practice develops the inner vision. We must find the center of our consciousness. Every higher center of consciousness brings us in touch with one aspect of the divine, and this finally leads us to the union between the individual and the Supreme Spirit. The human being who realizes the divine is the highest manifestation of God. We should be primarily concerned with the practical aspect of religion. Religion loses its soul if it becomes only theoretical and does not solve the spiritual problems of man. It should teach us the spiritual science, the laws of the spiritual world. Knowing the nature of the microcosm, then you can know the nature of the macrocosm. In ourselves we find God. The central idea is to find the one in the many, to recognize the ocean in the bubbles. The bubble must clearly know its bubble nature. Only then can it be pricked and made one with the ocean. Some bubbles want to be in tune with the ocean directly and do not care for even the mountain-high waves. Similarly, there are souls who want to be merged in the infinite and do not care to worship even the greatest teachers like Buddha and Christ. But most people need these outstanding personalities in order to reach the impersonal spirit. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.